Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. Looks like an interesting relationship. Russell Wilson had a bad year last year in Denver. Sean Payton's done some things to defend Russell Wilson. He threw Nathaniel Hackett under a bus, but here...
That bus already ran over Nathaniel. He just backed it up for one more bump, that's all.
But now Sean Payton is quoted in ESPN telling Seth Wickersham that, he's told Russell he's got to quit effing kissing babies.
What is that? I'm kind of out of touch with what does that mean?
In other words, he told him, you're not a politician, you're not running for the office. Stop worried about your public image and what people think about you.
Okay.
Come in here and get to work and be the quarterback for this football team.
Yeah, quit. Russell Wilson Inc., he says, leave that alone and just come in here. He's saying Russell's too concerned about his brand, and he needs to be more concerned about just being a football player.
Fair enough if you're the head coach.
Absolutely.
But how does that land with a Russell Wilson who looked like he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory? And
I don't know Russell. I mean, I've met him a few times. I've never hung out with him. There's a reason why Seattle got rid of him or parted ways with him. It's not that his play had declined. He physically he's got a lot left in the tank. That doesn't mean it'll materialize. But there's a reason they parted ways. As much good as he had done in Seattle, and he played exceptionally well. So maybe he was preoccupied with other things. I don't know. It'd be unfair for me to say one way or the other. But if he is preoccupied with his brand during football season, that's hurting everyone else. And it's the head coach's job to nip it in the bud. Sean has a great track record.
I'm going to throw a little curveball question as I lob it over here, but maybe, Brett, you can jump in as well. Russell Wilson decided to marry Ciara, or Sierra, whatever you say her name.
You got the same person.
And that's a lot. When you're managing your football career, then you marry a celebrity. I think what Brett, when he says Seattle decided to part ways, maybe they were also saying, you're doing a little too much. It's not just about football. It's about the celebrity lifestyle.
Everything else, I got to agree with that.
Can we
be the quarterback?
You know what?
When the season is on for me, Seth,
Why I like
there's nothing else that's my brand but my play. I autograph my performance every time.
why I like doing TV with Jason, because you can keep it real. Okay, so let's keep it real. When he left Seattle, he was having problems with his teammates anyway, and the public perception has always been, man, is Russ real with this, or is it a level of fakeness? And a lot of people in the NFL and a lot of people outside of covering the NFL always saw it as fake. No matter how bad things was going, the hand clapping and the false bravado, it was just way over the top, And then he gets with Ciara, and now, social media, he in bed with Ciara when he signs his contract. And, he over here,
like
he on this red.
Yeah, we're going to do this, Seattle. He's going to change his voice up the whole 9 yards.
He's on this red carpet.
Oh, yeah. And you
missed
that? And the reality
is... I missed it. That's West Coast stuff, man. I wake up early in the morning to get it over with fast.
Russell's more like, to the house!
So, when you're holding up a facade, you can only hold it up for so long before your arms get tired. And
or somebody look around and see.
But because what happens is sooner or later your arms get tired, and all of a sudden they start to drop, and then the real starts to show.
Wow.
And then once the real starts to show, then everybody's like, now we understand what's really going on.
We talking about one of the best deep ball throwers that ever put a ball up in the air.
I agree.
He introduced us to Lockett and Baldwin. Yeah? Wow.
Yeah, I was shocked when I thought he and Pete Carroll had a good thing going.
Right? with the
They really
competition,
did.
practices, and all that.
And all of a sudden, it just
gone.
gone.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming it on Ciara. I think
Right.
that train was moving down that track long before she came into play. I really do.
Yeah, she just bumped him on the track on the fast.
I mean,
track.
all you gotta do is go back to that Super Bowl that they lost, and just listen and look at the body language of his teammates that following year. I'm not even talking about after the game because they were all pissed off. But just after the game, everything went sideways.
He's never had that protection you were talking about. You give your quarterback,
but I don't know why. But now you see why. Because Seattle said go. And then last year with Denver, I was watching the D linemen attacking him. And, normally D linemen never go after their own quarterback. We got a prize in the other quarterback. That's why I never attacked my own. And we didn't have many good quarterbacks in Tampa. So if I had something that was kind of good, boy, you better get away from him, boy. I can't
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. In Philly, there was always this perception that, the defense didn't like Randall. Oh, yeah. Because Randall was all about Randall, but he was our quarterback. And if, I said, if somebody did something to Randall on the field, there's 11 defenders coming off that sideline.
Right now.
And their asses they better figure out what's going on because we're going to protect our quarterback. Then I took it to Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz went sideways in Philadelphia, it started with Nick Foles. He was always trying to outlive the ghost of Nick Foles. That's what destroyed his career because he wanted Philadelphia to love him the way that they loved Nick Foles, and it was never going to happen.
Never.
You understand what I'm saying? And I said, if you really want to, look at your quarterback, how his offensive linemen take care of his quarterback shows how much the whole team really loves him, okay? So when Carson Wentz got cheap shotted in the playoff game, when Jadeveon Clowney hit him in the back of the head, nobody went to his defense. Not one offensive lineman went to his defense. They didn't say nothing to Jadeveon Clowney, okay? But every time Nick Foles got sacked or got knocked down, they go and they pick him off. They dusted him off. They didn't do that for Carson Wentz. So now, look back at Russell and tell me, does his offensive line take care of him or do they not take care of him? That speaks volumes
says
because,
a lot.
because the entire
That says
team,
everything.
Everything. The D lineman was
You don't need to go ask anybody else.
Oh, no. The D line was after Russell in 94, big boy too. I'm like, wow, the big boy after? He done something real bad. I mean, because the D line always loved their quarterback. I mean, come on, man, it's all you got.
But it's not too late. They can salvage it. The team and
With Sean Payton, they can get rolling again.
Yeah.
They can get rolling fast.
yeah.
Well,
It's going to find out fast, though.
Yeah.
when Sean Payton makes statements like this in the media, isn't that an indication that maybe things aren't going well?
Could be.
No,
It could be one of those things where Sean's been around the block once or twice, has had tremendous success. Maybe he goes to Russell and says, look, I'm going to say a few things that you probably ain't going to like, but we need to do that to kind of set a standard that everybody's on the same playing field. I don't know if that's the case, but it would have been a smart way to handle it.
sometimes you have to motivate the team through the players that you believe that you can motivate them through.
Yep.
Right.
Like, now if a coach goes into a post-game press conference, they'll never talk about a player's performance in an interview. They just never do because it's perceived that the coach is throwing the player under the bus and you're going to lose the team if you do that. In my era, Buddy Ryan would be in a press conference right after the game.
Ripping your ass.
Played like crap, man. He don't get it together. We bring the linebackers in to work him out this week.
Yes,
and he'd run through every play and talk about you, but he knew he could do that with me because you know what? He knew that I would take what I needed and let the other stuff go out the other ear, and that the next week, he was going to get my best.
Yes, sir.
He's going to get my best. So sometimes, as a coach, you got to motivate everybody through one guy. And maybe, that messaging has to continue to happen until Russell buys in.